LeBron James just shattered the internet with a tweet that shook the basketball world. Asterisk. Caitlin Clark. Hi haters. Asterisk, just 6 words, but they hit like a half-court buzzer beater. So why is the NBA's biggest star stepping into WNBA territory? The answer lies in Caitlin Clark's latest game. Because this wasn't just basketball, it was a battle. A statement. A showdown for the ages. Clark, the WNBA's most electrifying rookie, found herself in a game that felt more like a war zone than a court. But she didn't back down. She thrived. She clapped back, silenced critics, and made sure everyone knew she belongs. And LeBron? He co-signed it, loud and clear.
Game of the season, and an enemy territory gets this kind of salute as she exits the game.
And in the midst of all that chaos, LeBron James watched from afar, and he loved every second.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
But here's where things take a wild turn. Caitlin Clark didn't just put on a show, she made history. We're talking jaw-dropping, record-shattering numbers that'll make your head spin. But let's hold off on the full stat sheet for now. Just understand this. When LeBron James is tuned in and tweeting, something major is happening. The real question is, are you ready to witness the storm that's shaking the WNBA to its foundation? Because what unfolded during Clark's 31-point masterpiece wasn't just a game. It was supposed to be a celebration, the crowning moment of a rookie phenom's breakout night. Instead, it turned into a battlefield. Clark didn't just shine, she rewrote the WNBA record books. 31 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds. And here's the kicker, she became the first player in WNBA history to drop 30 points, dish 12 assists, and hit 5 threes in a single game. That's not just elite, it's iconic. But just when the spotlight should have been all hers, things got ugly. Fast. While Clark was cementing her legacy, some players looked more focused on taking her out than stopping her. Not once, but twice, she was rocked by brutal flagrant fouls. The first came when Michaela Onyenwere launched into her like a missile, sending Clark crashing to the floor. The refs had no choice. Flagrant 1. No landing space. No mercy. The message was clear. The gloves were off.
Take a look here. Does she give her landing space?
It doesn't look like she does to me, and the actual call of that is a reckless close.
It wasn't over. Not even close. Just when Caitlin Clark caught a break and picked off a steal, Diamond DeShields came crashing in like a wrecking ball, sending Clark flying to the floor again. Another flagrant. Another cheap shot. Another Chicago Sky hit job inside Wintrust Arena. It didn't feel like basketball anymore. It felt like war. Fans at home erupted. Social media exploded. Cheap shots, they cried. Pathetic, they screamed. The court of public opinion had spoken, and it wasn't just about the fouls, it was about fairness. About justice. Because what the world saw wasn't just hard defense, it looked like targeted punishment. But here's the thing about Caitlin Clark, she's not just skilled, she's built from steel. Where most would fold under that kind of pressure, Clark only got stronger. She got up, dusted herself off, and went right back to dismantling her opponents. Every hit she took was followed by a response, not with anger, but with buckets. And by the time the final buzzer sounded, Clark wasn't just still standing, she was standing tall. The crowd? They saw it all. Every bruise. Every bounce. Every clutch three. And when she walked off that court, they didn't just applaud, they roared. It wasn't for the stat sheet. It was for the fight. For the fire. For the refusal to be silenced or broken. Clark had earned not just a win, but respect. And the best part? After all the bruises, the chaos, the controversy, Clark laughed it off. She joked she had to toss up an air ball just to stay humble. That's not just confidence, that's unshakable power. Then, just when you thought things couldn't get any hotter, LeBron James stepped in with a flamethrower. That tweet? Just the beginning. Because when the king speaks, the basketball world listens. And he didn't stop there. On his podcast, LeBron dropped truth bombs about Clark's impact that sent tremors through the entire sports world. In just a few words, he bridged the gap between NBA legends and WNBA warriors. It wasn't just a shout-out, it was a declaration. Caitlin Clark had arrived. And the whole world was watching.
Guy here from Wintrust Arena, the Fever have really stretched out this one.
It started with a tweet, but not just any tweet. When you've got 53 million followers hanging on your every word, LeBron James doesn't just post, he moves mountains. One sentence from him can shift the entire sports landscape. And that's exactly what happened. In less than 24 hours, his 6-word message exploded with over 170,000 likes and 11 million impressions. This wasn't just viral, it was seismic. But this wasn't about clout. LeBron wasn't tweeting to stir up drama. He was calling out something much deeper, something darker. He was shining a light on the brutal, borderline dangerous treatment Caitlin Clark has been enduring. And he didn't mince words. It was as if he grabbed the mic and said loud and clear, "Enough is enough." And just like that, the avalanche began. One by one, NBA heavyweights stepped in. Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, all echoing LeBron's support. Suddenly, the WNBA and NBA collided in an unexpected crossover, and Caitlin Clark was the headline act. But LeBron wasn't just cheerleading. He came with wisdom, too. Real advice. He said what many were afraid to: Caitlin needs a veteran. Someone like Tina Charles. A stabilizing force to help her navigate this storm. Because this isn't just about one star, it's about the game. And how the game treats its rising icons. As Clark battles Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, LeBron's endorsement does more than validate, it accelerates. It's fuel to an already blazing firestorm. And now the spotlight isn't just on Caitlin Clark's stats, it's on the system around her. But as the cameras zoom in on her highlight reel smile, let's not ignore the elbows. The hard fouls. The flagrant collisions. Are they just physical plays? Or is something more sinister at work? Because when you slow the footage down, that blurry line between tough competition and targeted violence, it's not just fading, it's gone. And maybe in the WNBA, that line never really existed at all. You've seen the replays. You've heard the gasps from the crowd. And now, fans are asking the question out loud. Asterisk, is Caitlin Clark being hunted? Or is this just basketball? Asterisk, the tension's rising. Fans are screaming foul, convinced that Clark has a target on her back bigger than the WNBA logo itself. And maybe they're right. Because when you break records like Clark does, enemies come with the territory. But here's where it gets complicated. Some argue this is just strategic defense. That when you're that dangerous with the ball, you should expect the hits. Welcome to the big leagues, rookie. This isn't middle school anymore. This is the price of greatness. And if you can't take the heat, stay off the court. And to be fair, women's basketball has long had a reputation for being even more physical than the men's game. Ask any WNBA veteran, they'll tell you about the elbows in the paint, the bruises, the blood. Grit is part of the DNA. So is Caitlin Clark just facing the same grind every rookie goes through? Or is this different? Then there's Clark herself. Let's be real, she's not some silent assassin. She's electric. She's bold. She trash talks. She smirks. She checks fans after drilling step-back threes. She brings the show. That swagger? It's part of her brand. And maybe, just maybe, that's what's painting the bullseye on her back. Some critics say she's poking the bear, and now the bear is biting back. But others argue that's exactly why fans love her. She's not just playing, she's performing. She's turning every game into must-watch TV. And the fans? They eat it up. But this story has grown beyond one player. This is about the entire culture of the women's game. Are rising stars like Caitlin Clark being protected, or punished? Is this the cost of stardom in a league built on collisions and grit? The internet's on fire with debates. Some analysts are calling for stricter officiating. Others say that'll kill the game's edge. It's a tightrope, balancing fierce competition with fairness and safety. And through all the noise, something is quietly shifting in Indiana. The Fever are on a tear. 5 straight wins. A rookie leading the charge. While the world fixates on fouls and tweets, Caitlin Clark is doing what she's always done, * winning star. So what's her secret? We're only beginning to find out.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in.
But here's the twist no one saw coming. The Indiana Fever. Yes, the same franchise buried under years of losses and forgotten seasons, have just hit .500 for the first time since 2016. Let that sink in. After nearly a decade in the shadows, the Fever are now knocking on the playoff door. And leading this resurrection? You already know the name, Caitlin Clark. Now maybe you're thinking, *. Sure, she's talented, but is she really that good? * buckle up. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just living up to the hype, she's obliterating it. Her numbers don't whisper greatness, they scream it. Clark is leading the entire WNBA in assists, while dropping 18 points a night. And yes, she's the undisputed frontrunner for Rookie of the Year. But here's where it gets unreal. Since the Olympic break, Clark has taken things to another level entirely. We're talking 24 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 8.5 assists per game. Those aren't just rookie stats. That's MVP territory. Pure dominance. But her impact? It runs deeper than any box score. She's not just scoring, she's transforming her team. Watch her share the floor with Kelsey Mitchell. It's not just basketball, it's art. 2 different generations moving in perfect sync, creating a rhythm that defenders simply can't solve. Their chemistry? Electric. Their vision? Unstoppable. And through it all, the cameras, the crowds, the constant media swirl, Clark stays cool. Reporters press her about the awards, the records, the headlines. But she brushes it all off. "We don't wake up thinking about individual awards," she says. "Our focus is on winning basketball games." That's not just humility. That's leadership. But Caitlin's not the only rookie on fire. Enter Angel Reese. Their rivalry, born in college, has now gone pro, and it's white hot. 2 generational talents. 2 record-breaking phenoms. Side by side, they're rewriting what it means to be a WNBA rookie. And the world is watching. Some analysts are even whispering the unthinkable. Caitlin Clark might just make all WNBA first team. As a rookie. Let that sink in. She's not just good. She's historic. But maybe the most jaw-dropping thing about Clark isn't her stats or accolades. It's her poise under fire. Physical play? Check. Social media storms? Check. Unrelenting pressure? Check. And yet, she doesn't flinch. She thrives. Where others might fold, Clark rises. This isn't just a good rookie season. This is the arrival of a once-in-a-generation force. Clark's game, her leadership, her ability to elevate an entire roster, it's drawing comparisons to NBA royalty. But let's not forget the price she's paid along the way. Those flagrant fouls? They're not just hard plays. They've become national headlines. And now, LeBron James has stepped into the conversation. His tweet lit up the internet, and his message was loud and clear: the hate has to stop. The WNBA must do better. The game must protect its stars. But here's the real question: what are we going to do about it? Scroll past? Or stand up? Because this moment, it's bigger than Caitlin Clark. Bigger than the Fever. It's about justice. Respect. Changing the game. This is our shot to build something better, for everyone. So, are you ready to ride with the Fever into the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss a second. And click the video on screen, because this story is far from over.